Thank you very much for joining me. I'm Brian Shields. A big blast of dust moving in. Some of us already have it. I want to show you more to come and where we could get some tropical development. But watching this is exactly what we were talking about together yesterday. How there'd be these bands of rain and storms. Some spots dry, others getting dumped on. Cayman Islands, for example. Most of this is just off to the east. Western tier of Jamaica is seeing a better chance of the rain. Not as much eastern zones right now. That was flipped around yesterday. Mudslides over toward eastern Cuba. That has been a big concern. The mudslides, landslides, heavy rain, parts of the central, southern Bahamas, even northern Bahamas, we've seen some rain. And you can see it stretching all the way up to Bermuda. Bermuda is right there. My friends in Bermuda, it has been so active over the last few weeks. I also want to get into some spots that have been way too dry. We have the dangerous heat around, and again, some of that dust moving in. So let me take you around. Mexico, Belize, rain chances low. Same thing, Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras. We need it. There's just not a lot around. Coastal areas in Nicaragua, we've been seeing a few showers and storms, and again back through Colombia. But there's that rain stretching back near Jamaica and Cuba, and again monitoring that. As we swing elsewhere, you can see some spots, not a whole lot. Now Aruba, Curacao, and Bonaire, it hasn't even been as windy as it typically is to help kind of take the edge off the heat. We need some of these tropical waves to kind of hang together, but there's not a lot with them. Guyana, Suriname, we've got some rain that's working in, scattered about. As I mentioned yesterday, it was mainly inland. Inland, we have the flooding in Guyana, but not much with these tropical waves. So again, still very dry. Aruba, Curacao, Bonaire, not far away. Inland Venezuela, we've had some of the rain. And you can see as we zoom around, Puerto Rico, a scorcher. Heat index as high as 120 Fahrenheit in spots. That's over 47 degrees Celsius. Crazy heat. Same thing, British U.S. Virgin Islands, Anguilla, St. Kitts and Nevis, Montserrat, Antigua and Barbuda, Guadeloupe, Dominica, Martinique. Aside from a passing shower, not much. My friends in the Dominican Republic as well. In Haiti, the rain chance is not super high. Swinging back to, again, towards St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Lucia and Barbados. We may catch a little passing shower. That would be it. Trinidad and Tobago, Grenada, hit or miss shower. Now, a lot of action out there, but again, nothing organized. So these tropical waves coming off, although they're a little more robust, a little more action with them now as they come off. There's more rain with them. So with that, we'll see how much that hangs together as it moves across. Eastern Pacific, not seeing anything, but most of the models are hinting at something spinning up as we go over the next week or so. So I'll watch out for that. Now that surge of dust, huge blast of dust has moved in. We're going to see this increasing. This is the current situation. Gulf of Mexico, Caribbean, the Atlantic here. There's the coast of Africa. I like to use this because this is some high resolution stuff. It really shows where stuff is. And you see the red shading, the orange shading, that is the dust where it's kind of orangey. That is where it is thicker. Eastern, Central Caribbean, seeing the dust. Puerto Rico. So not only are we absolutely baking with a dangerous heat, we have the dust that is around. We've been seeing that St. Martin, we've had the dust, Saba dealing with the dust all the way down through St. Lucia, Barbados, Trinidad, some of that dust. Not as much Guyana and Suriname. Now, we've got one plume of dust now. Let me show you what's going on. This from NASA. So again, getting a look at some of their data using some of their imagery. And you can see here, this is, I know it's a little hard to see, but this is the Caribbean. There's the dust now. But look what happens down the road. Now, this is this weekend. So this is Saturday. Some dust around. There's still going to be some, but there's another surge that's going to come in. So we have thick dust now, breaks up a little bit this weekend, but look at that. You see that on your screen? Look at all that dust. That is the next surge of dust moving in by the middle of next week. So Tuesday into Wednesday of next week, we're going to see another very thick round of dust headed our way across the Caribbean. I'll keep an eye on that. So again, we've had all sorts of issues, thinking of my friends that are farmers, dealing with agriculture, anything going on like that. We've had some big issues with the crops. Either we've been too wet now in spots or way too dry. Now we get a look at a future rain, and I'm going to zoom down in a second. Again, watching this moisture here that we've been talking about, dealing with that flooding. This is through tomorrow morning. Still that chance of rain. Jamaica, just scattered. Haiti and the Dominican Republic. Most of it's been parts of Jamaica, in parts of Cuba, right through the Bahamas, stretching up toward Bermuda. And you see again here, I'm going to get into the Eastern Caribbean in a second, scattered showers. But by the time we get into tomorrow afternoon, again, we're going to get some spots of flooding tomorrow. So again, a heads up, it'll be on the edge of the Cayman Islands and Jamaica. We still need to just wait and see where that sets up. But definitely parts of the Bahamas and Cuba, seeing some areas of heavy rain. Same thing as we get into Saturday, and that's the concern. If the rain sets up over the same spots, again, we're going to be dealing with some of those areas of flooding. So please leave your comments. Thank you for doing that. Share this channel. Let folks know what's going on. Now, I wanted to zoom down here in the Eastern Caribbean because we need the rain. We need it big time. Here's Aruba. You get toward Puerto Rico, Haiti, Dominican Republic, Dominica, Barbados, St. Lucia, Grenada. And you see, again, this is through tomorrow. Most of the action back here for my friends near Jamaica and Cuba, as I mentioned, it's not going to be much more than a passing shower. The driest spot has been the northeastern Caribbean. These tropical waves come in, but they just don't do a whole lot. There's not a lot of action with them. Now, by Saturday, the rain chance will pick up a little bit. I'll get to some of those specific forecasts. Guyana and Suriname, that rain chance will be picking up. Now, down the road, I'm watching. Now, one of the computer models, the American model, is showing some sort of tropical storm or hurricane developing in the Western Caribbean about 10 to 15 days from now. I want to caution, it almost always does that during the hurricane season. It always shows kind of a rogue system or just a phantom system, if you will, developing. As it goes out in time, it becomes less accurate. That's the deal. That's talking 2 weeks from now. But with that said, there has been a lot of rain in the Caribbean. So there's a little something to that. This will be a spot I'll be watching for some development as we get into later this month. So I am keeping an eye on that very carefully. Again, most of the models not showing any development. Some are. But the next named system will be Brett. Again, we had Arlene form briefly last weekend in the Gulf of Mexico. So no signs of Brett yet. But that is the next name on the list as we get through the hurricane season. Now, as far as the rain totals, look at the rain again, at best up to 25 millimeters, mainly dry in spots over toward the British, U.S. Virgin Islands, Aruba, Curacao, and Bonaire. Swinging back here, again, those higher totals. It's going to be a close call. Cayman Islands and Jamaica, it really just depends on where some of those bands of rain and storm set up. We will have some spots, though, that get over 75 millimeters of rain. Same thing up toward Cuba. And again, as we swing back toward parts of the Bahamas. Rain chance very limited the next 3 days. Watching the wildfires, the drought conditions across Belize, over toward Honduras and the Yucatan of Mexico. We swing back toward Jamaica. Rain chance, again, I put 50% because, again, it's that fine line of rain and storms that are around. A very fine line. Some spots will be dry, others will be getting dumped on. Bahamas, again, central and southern Bahamas. I'm sorry, my dog is being you okay? I'll come get you in a second. She wants to play. A 60-70% chance of rain and storms in the Bahamas. But again, it's been central, southern Bahamas, scattered showers, northern Bahamas, and then the U.S., British Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico. We know how it's been going. Super dry, super hot. I'm thinking of you. Please use some caution, especially if you have any breathing issues with that dust around. You see St. Martin, rain chance 10 to 20% as we go through the weekend. Grenada, a little bit of an uptick, 30% chance of a shower tomorrow in through the weekend. Grenada, St. Vincent of the Grenadines, and a little bit more. Next tropical wave moves in, so about a 40 to 50% chance of rain tomorrow. Trinidad and Tobago, up to a 50% chance as we get into Saturday in Aruba. You know it. We are so dry, and again, not much in the way of winds. We need those tropical waves to kind of start to move in. So watching the flooding, parts of Jamaica, Cuba, Bahamas, keeping a close eye on the Cayman Islands, just depending on where some of that rain heats up. The extreme heat, thinking of you. Please, again, thinking of you if you have any issues with breathing, asthma, any of that sort of thing. Rounds of dust coming in. I showed you that next one. That will be coming in for the middle of next week. I'll be tracking that for you. And again, keeping an eye on the Western Caribbean for that possibility of a spin up. We are in the hurricane season. It goes through the end of November. Thank you for reaching out to others, sharing this channel. I do it for safety. I will track the storms start to finish. I will track the hurricanes start to finish for you. Got you covered. I hope you have a good rest of your day.